ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जायमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषः शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, reading from Srimad Bhagavatam by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. We are reading from Canto 4, Chapter 6, Brahma Satisfies Lord Shiva. So, this chapter we will begin after the Deepavali break. So, today is a free session. I mean, we don't have, if any question, any discussion. I wanted to ask about, the answer should be glorifying either Srimad Bhagavatam or Srila Prabhupada or both. Okay. So let that not come on me. But how many of you feel very nourished and satisfied by Srimad Bhagavatam every day? Did you see any change in your life?
Absolutely, Prabhuji.
Any reflections on that? Most welcome.
Yes, Prabhuji, we feel very nourished.
Hare Krishna.
Yes,
It's
Mataji.
like intoxicating in the morning.
Yeah, perfect it is. We should be haunted by Bhagavatam in the morning. Krishna Graha
Very
Gita.
nice. We are able to complete and regularly, as we have to say, Dandavat Pranams to you, because you are the one you have taken us. Have joined in 2020 actually in the
This should not come to
COVID
me.
period.
Just go to Srila Prabhupada and Bhagavatam. Okay. We have to do long time we have to read from here. So let us not be grateful so early. We have to go a long journey. So we are just together in the journey. So Bhagavatam says this, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. I have my very distinct memory. One day, this was way back in 2002-3, when I was in this Giri Govardhan base and construction was going on. Very, very hectic things actually there. And many devotees were assisting, of course. But one day, my mentor, his mentor now also, His Grace Krishna Kishore Prabhu, he just came to me and he said that you are looking so blissful, so happy. What happened? And I was also wondering, why I'm so blissful and happy. And then I realized that, continuously 90 days I was reading Srimad Bhagavatam without break. Early days, when you are just deeply absorbed in bhakti, you are not into fault finding, Vaishnava Aparadh, and all those things are also way, far beyond. Because you are so new, you are so enamored by the newness of the things, you become so happy with the newness of the things, right? But then I realized, oh, this is Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. That, when we read Srimad Bhagavatam, and that is the challenge of Srimad Bhagavatam, right? What is the verse which says, if we read Srimad Bhagavatam, we will be blissful. Evam prasanna manaso. Yeah. Evam prasanna manaso. Look at the word, prasanna manaso. Bhagavad bhakti yogatah. Bhagavad tattva vijnanam. Mukta sangasya jayati. So Bhagavatam has all the potency, and therefore, book Bhagavatam and person Bhagavatam, they are non-different. In fact, I was reading, as a part of, because I'm migrating myself from academics to finance domain and a lot of things I'm doing personally in my life also. And I've joined some mentors, and they also say that, one good thing is you join the person mentor, some who can, walk you through. And the another very good thing is one should read books. He said that reading books is so powerful, even in the material life. Even material, but material life means, of course, for a devotee, everything is spiritual. But even in the civil life of our part, reading books is so very important. And what to speak of in the spiritual life, and what to speak of Bhagavatam in that case. So there is no difference between person Bhagavat and book Bhagavat. And especially Srila Prabhupada directly writing. See, previously people used to have only Bhagavat, means they used to have shloka only. Then shloka and at best translation. What to speak of shloka, translation, and purport by Srila Prabhupada, which are his devotional ecstasies, and at the same time he's quoting personalities like Veer Raghavacharya, right? Yesterday Prabhuji was asking Veer Raghavacharya. So I think he's a Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya spiritual master, Parampara Guru. I'm not sure whether he comes before Vedanta Desikan, but he surely comes after Ramanujacharya. Sri Sampradaya, there are two big milestones. One is Ramanujacharya, and another is Vedanta Desikan. Okay, very, very empowered personality. And he lived for almost like 106 years. And he revived entire Sri Sampradaya after this attack by Khilji, killing 12,000 Vaishnavas he killed in one attack, Sri Rangam. So he revived entire Sri Sampradaya, but I'm not sure where he appeared. But he is one of the great Sri Vaishnava Acharya. Sri Vaishnavas refer Bhagavatam means they will refer to his commentary, Veera Raghava Acharya. So anyway, so not only we will, then, and Prabhupada's direct realizations with dealing with so many devotees when he was establishing ISKCON, the worldwide, the Vaishnava society. So we are really very fortunate to come across at this time when things are so much set within ISKCON, and the books are so beautifully available. So reading Bhagavatam is one of the top priority of the devotee. It is Pancha Sadhan. So nice, very nice. And frankly, because we are having this reading circle, even I am able to read very continuously. And let us pray to the Lord whenever you are in Yatra. Have one corner prayer for our morning initiative of reading Srimad Bhagavatam every day. Yes. Another thing I wanted to ask is this time suitable? Because we started with one time. We started with 7 to 7:20. And we stick to 20 minutes for almost like 5-6 years. But then we started Bhagavatam. We realized that 20 minutes Bhagavatam will be little lesser. Then slowly we pushed to 25, and now we are at 30 minutes. And the 30 minutes time span is now 7:15 to 7:45. So is this works well, or we have to change or something like that? If it works well, then better not to change. Yeah, please.
Works well, Prabhuji. Thank you.
This time is suitable, Prabhuji.
Time is suitable. No? Very nice. Yes. Varsha Mataji, you have raised your hand. Yeah, good. Okay. So we'll continue at the same time. From tomorrow we will break. Many devotees are traveling tomorrow to Mayapur, Vrindavan, Jagannath Puri, many places. And so from tomorrow till 30th we will break, and 31st we will begin. That means today is Friday. Next Friday we will begin with continue with Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the only break that we take. So time is good. Yeah. Now
The time is good.
Any discussion, any question, any comment?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanraj.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Dhanraj.
Prabhuji, I have a small question. Before that, thank you very much for this. And this regular reading is giving food for thought and food for discussion with the kids. So in the night, I read the same pastime and explain to the kids, and they are so happy. So we have question answer and all that. So that is very nice food for discussion with the kids also. So that way it is nourishing me and with entire family that way. And the question I had, Prabhuji, is like, again we are coming across this term that Daksha was envious of Lord Shiva. He was envious. But in terms of Daksha, in his vision, Lord Shiva had nothing, right? No opulence, no good look and all that. So, I mean, for what he was envious? Can you explain that?
Yeah, very good. That Lord Shiva answers very beautifully. So, Daksha had everything, and Lord Shiva, materially speaking, of course, material energy personified is his consort, his wife. But from an external perspective, he has nothing. What Daksha was envious of. So Lord Shiva says this. Lord Shiva says, such materialistic people, they are very envious of those who are spiritually satisfied. Right. So see, there are many alphas in one's life. Alpha means, the advantages in one's life. And sometimes, we look in our life and we want something, we want, job like this fellow, children like this fellow, husband like this person, wife like this person, home like this person. But if we just look inside and see our own life, we will find many alphas in our life. Alphas in the life means, we have a good stable job. That's a big alpha. We have, you know, uh, a life partner, husband or wife. That is a very huge alpha. We have, one, two, whatever children we have. Then we have good friend circle, families. And practice of devotional service is a very big alpha. Right? Many times people are envious of those who may not be very materially very rich, but when they are spiritually satisfied and the spiritually well set, people envy such people. Correct. So Lord Shiva, when he is talking to Sati, he says that actually Daksha is envious of my position of Atmaram. Atmaram. And then the honor and everything that Lord Shiva was getting, he's positionally greater. Na? He's a
Yeah.
Gunavatar. Like that it is. And that's why Daksha was envious of Lord Shiva. Especially the spiritual advancement of Lord Shiva, actually.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. And you said another one important point that, discussing this with kids. See, actually, I'm not able to make those videos, but I plan to make one video every day, literally, called as Tatparya Amrit Bindu. Tab, we call it. Tatparya Amrit Bindu. That in every 3-4 pages of Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada writes such a beautiful point. It's completely unheard of. Like yesterday, Prabhupada was writing about whenever people think of a yajna and animal sacrifice, their plain understanding is that the animal is killed and then they are sitting on the table and eating the animal. So Prabhupada says no. Just like the modern medicines are tested on the animals, and in that process the animal dies a very miserable death, by the way. Similarly, the yajna is tested on the animals and the animal is revived back, right? And animal will receive a full new body and will, in front of everybody, the animal will. And the yajna completion, yajna success rate was more than 99.999%. 1 in a lakh may yajna may fail. And that also those brahmanas will be, condemned for killing such animal through yajna. And this is such an important point, right? So these thought-provoking points we have to discuss, especially with our teenage children. Teenage children, they will not have direct faith in bhakti, or we try to push them in for chanting, mala. And within that boy and girl, it is different. Girls may pick up the you know the practice of bhakti very well. But the boys, most likely, the boys will generally pick up the tattva of bhakti first, and then slowly they will pick up the practice. And therefore, if you see His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu, how beautifully he trained those youth, how, so they have debates, they have, this is how the youths are being trained. And the teenage means they are approaching towards youth. So we have to satisfy their intellectual query first. Then, just pushing bead bag in their hands and making them chant. Of course, one round to everybody should chant. That is our connection with the Supreme Lord. But there is a difference how the kids will take to bhakti, how the teenagers will take to bhakti, how the boys will take to bhakti, how the girls will take to bhakti. Girls will generally very easily will take to bhakti through deity worship, doing abhishek. The chanting is slightly difficult. Chanting is very intense form of sadhana. So one should not judge one's children simply by the number of rounds they are chanting or not chanting. So don't discount them if they are not chanting. They will take their own sweet time. Right. So these points in Srila Prabhupada's purports, especially, one particular point will hit. So those should be discussed with children. And this every day there is one such amazing point hits. Sometime we will start making those videos that Tatpari Amrit Bindu. That every day there is one point. Just every 3-4 pages there is such amazing point. Yeah.
In
Next.
fact, that point when I heard, it was like wow for Prabhupada.
Wait. Correct. Prabhupada is writing that in the modern day, medicines are tested on animals. Similarly, yagyas were tested on animals. Correct. Such a beautiful point.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I was reading Lilamrit and I'm about to finish first canto, and Prabhupada's struggle for first, second, and third volume is so heart touching and it's so emotional. So much struggle Prabhupada did for us to read, and every day, all glories to you. Because of you, we are also reading Bhagavatam, and I just feel very grateful and insignificant. We are struggling to read Bhagavatam. I mean, especially me. I mean, I conditioned one of my biggest.
Yeah, we all struggle to read Bhagavatam.
Yes, and then here Prabhupada worked so hard for us to relish this Bhagavatam every day. So that was my realization, Prabhuji. Every time I read Leela I just feel very grateful, and I feel like, what can I do to reciprocate?
And Prabhupada's struggle was not just about writing and the Sanskrit, and not just referring commentaries of the 15 acharyas. His struggle was way beyond having, even getting money, then getting paper, then getting printer, then convincing printer that please take this 5% advance and I will work hard. And printer used to look at Srila Prabhupada and he used to doubt whether he will receive, whether he will be able to collect all the money or not. And then reluctantly he used to print and all those things. So not just spiritual, academic struggle that Prabhupada had. That itself is a huge struggle, right? Writing one book takes so much of a time. And Srila Prabhupada had to undergo so much of a struggle, even beyond, being author. All this getting paper, getting this, getting that, and all those things. Yeah. So yes. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Amazing it is.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, for the children, for first, junior, senior KGs, we push them to go to school, and they do not like that. And we push them and they go to school and they used to it and they like it after some time. So is it we should do with the chanting also? Just start with one round. We have to push them to chant one round, and then they will get used to it and they will like it.
Yeah. So one round to be everybody should chant 1-2 rounds, 3, whatever, 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds, whatever it is we are chanting, that the connection with the holy name, connection with the Supreme Lord has to be there. That is must. At the same time, there are two strategies. One is called as a push strategy, another is called as pull strategy. And this is widely used everywhere. It is used in marketing, this and that. And here also, that instead of pushing, we have to try that, people are getting pulled towards Krishna consciousness. And we have so many wonderful elements. I mean, Krishna consciousness is so far and wide that everybody will have one nice thing that he will be pulled to. The process of Krishna consciousness, and especially the process of Krishna consciousness being practiced and being propagated within ISKCON. So it's very powerful. Somebody is a singer, dancer, you write so many dramas, and somebody is into cooking, somebody is into going out, extrovertish person, somebody is wants to do deity worship. There are so many, some festivals. So there such a large variety of services are available, such a huge wide spectrum that anybody can be very easily engaged. So we have to pull people towards Krishna. And that is the art. So yeah, initially a little bit of push is required, just like child has to be sent to the school. But then, there has to be, we have to tap interest of a personality with Krishna. And not that everybody will become devotee the same way. Somebody will become devotee for deity worship. Somebody will become devotee for, some shloka recitation, so on and so forth. So it has to be a combination of both.
Yeah.
10%
But
push,
all the
90% pull.
seva things they do, they like to do, but chanting is very.
Yeah, so, chanting is very intense actually. Chanting is a very intense form of sadhana. So we recommend children to chant, to pick up chanting, and just to be connected with the Supreme Lord. But then they have to find their vibe in, Krishna consciousness. And the best way to make anybody into devotee is to make their friends into devotees. We cannot make our child into devotee unless, see, we have to see ourselves. We have become devotees because our friends have become devotees. We have not become devotees because my father was a devotee, my mother was a devotee. That is very rare case. Okay. But most of us, we have become devotees because, our contemporary, somebody was a devotee. And that's why we got attracted to devotional service. In our children case, what happens? They think that, we are devotees, your parents are initiated devotees, we have deities in the house, such a spiritual atmosphere. Why are not you becoming devotee? They will not become devotee. They will become devotees when their friends become devotee. Right? So when I was chanting 4 rounds, my another very amazing personality, Premniti Prabhu, he told me, he said that if you want to become very happy devotee, make your roommate into also devotee. So I had a very amazing roommate. He's a very close friend of mine. And then we used to make us plan how to make him into a devotee. And he was a very voracious reader. And, college days, used to get up very late nights. I used to get up early. By nature, I used to get up very early, since early in the childhood. So I used to go for morning program, and every day I used to get one book, like Perfection of Yoga, Beyond Birth and Death, and just keep next to his bed. And this fellow used to get up at 7:30, and 7:30 to 9:30 used to simply read the books. And doing this for a month or two, he became a wonderful devotee. But the point is that we become devotee when our friends become devotee. Right? We have become devotee because of our friends. We miss out this very important point. We want to make our child into devotee, but they will not become devotees unless their friends will become devotees. Largely so, right? And another thing is, very important thing is what experience. It's all about experience. There are so many books which are written. They say that people will forget what you have written, what you have spoken. People will forget but people will never forget the experience that they have received. In any walk of our life, somebody coming to meet me, somebody is my student, somebody is, in my, as me as a teacher, somebody is coming to, you are practicing, somebody is coming as a patient. So people will never forget the treatment they have received, the experience. So what experience we as a devotee give to our children of Krishna consciousness? If it is of push and, if it is of exhaustion, then people will wait. I know one, very senior devotee's son, he's saying that, Mama, if you push me like this, he said he will become Muslim, but he will not become a devotee. So point is not that he wanted to be, point is how we present Krishna consciousness to people. So the experience of Krishna consciousness has to be very, very positive to people. In our rush of, many times what happens, we also want, I'm just speaking general things, right? It is not pointed to anybody. But we generally want to derive a spiritual mileage. Social spiritual mileage means within the community of the devotees as a society, we want that the Marathit म्हणतो ना कौतुकाची थाप. We want that appreciation from people कि हाँ इनका बच्चा कितना अच्छा devotee बना है, इनका ये this that somewhere. And this is also one reason why many devotees push their kids to take on to bhakti. Not required actually. So very, very jokingly, I say this. It's very joking, so don't take it. It is nothing anybody about it. So by jokingly, I say again, Murphy's law. No. So I have just modified that. That children of children of a devotee, they are generally devotees, but devotees trying to make them into devotees, make them into non-devotees. Okay. They are generally devotees. Devotee's child is generally a devotee. But we want to make them devotee, and we want to make them devotee in our way, in such a way that we end up repelling them from the process of Krishna consciousness. So the experience that we give to them, that is extremely important. It's all about experience. It's not about even, of course, 1-2 rounds, everybody has to chant. That is our connection with Krishna. But we know devotees, who have chanted 2 rounds for 15, 16 years, and they remained like that only, and then suddenly some point of time they picked up and they became wonderful devotees, initiated devotees, now leading temples. Right? So what experience, and generally what happens with devotees is they are very careful of everybody. They will take care of their counselees, they will take care of their friends, they will take care of other devotees. But when it comes to our own kids, maybe something like familiarity breeds contempt, we are like, very careless about them. We think that, "Oh, karna hi chahiye. He is so fortunate that he is born as my son or my daughter, or born in such a devotee family." So that's a very, that's not a right mindset. Somewhere we have to change that mindset. I hope answer went
Yes,
somewhere else.
yes,
Hare Krishna. Yeah. Anything else? I have one very nice realization, in our many interactions. And, as on now, we are reading Prabhupada books for almost like 6.5 years. 1st September 2019 is the exact date we started. And, so when we read Prabhupada books together, we feel short of time. But when there is generally no subject and open session like this, we run out of topics so fast. Right? So what that means is, in the association of devotee, if Krishna Katha is not the center, automatically that discussion is going to gravitate towards something material or upadharma, semi-spiritual or something like that. So this, I have just observed this, that when we are reading, half an hour becomes easily 35 minutes and we run short of time. But when we are plain discussion, we run out of topics. Have you observed this?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes,
So many more.
Prabhuji.
So therefore, that. Yes, Radhika Mataji, please. You have raised hand. Actually, many of us do not know who all are attending. So Radhika Mataji is Dr. Radhika Joglekar, and she is very famous cardiologist of Pune. She is with, Dr. Hiremat for many years. She and her sister, both of them attend, and wherever they are, they attend. For me, it is like my parents attending, through them. So we met something like 3 years back, but then we could not meet.
And she's the one, Prabhuji, who connected me to this platform, Prabhuji. Thank you so much to
Oh,
her.
I never knew this. Jai Jai. One meeting we will have, just introduction, just getting introduced to who is from where, and right. Maybe tomorrow we can have that. Tomorrow we will not read Bhagavatam. We'll have just plain any question answer, and we'll just get introduced that who is attending from where.
I'm sorry,
remember-
Prabhuji, my hand was raised by mistake because I'm taking class from my garden, Devasati.
Oh, acha, acha. No, no.
And I'm going to be traveling today. So, I'm with the mobile in one hand and listening and doing all this together.
Thank you so much for attending.
No,
Very
no,
grateful.
sir. I
No,
cannot
very
live
grateful.
one day also without listening.
I remember the days when you were in Sweden and attending morning reading when it was 2:30 in the morning. That was like,
Not Sweden,
amazing.
Prabhuji,
Switzerland it was, yeah.
Switzerland, Scotland. My son is
Oh,
there.
Scotland. Acha, right. So thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Prabhuji, for your words of praise. Thank you.
No, really, you and your sister both are very special personalities.
Thank you,
Keep
Prabhuji.
blessing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we will conclude here and we will meet tomorrow. We will just have, one more day tomorrow. Chila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you,
Prabhupada,
Prabhuji.
thank
Thank
you,
you, everyone.
Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
I didn't know.